welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca, and today I am here to share with you how I have lost over 60 pounds. And the reason that I'm creating this video is because I just really want to support and motivate you. If you have felt like I've been on this journey for so long, it's never going to happen, because let me tell you, if you just keep going, it can happen. So I would like to share with you how I gained the weight, how I've lost the weight, my 5 top tips for you on how you can do this without taking as long as I have. Now, I've already shared a video on my 5 things of what not to do on your weight loss journey, so be sure to check that out. And let's get into how I gained the weight. So, as the title suggests, it's baby weight. Let me just back up a little bit. I'm gonna do really quick background story. I was a chunky kid. When I was about 16 years old, I decided to lose some weight, and basically I did that by walking a ton, stopped drinking Big Red and Dr. Pepper, and switched to water, and I did what you shouldn't do, which is just not eat very much. Now, I did lose quite a bit of weight, but it wasn't sustainable because I didn't do it in a sustainable way. Now, I did pick up 2 very healthy habits, which is walking a lot and drinking water, which I still do to this day. I love to walk everywhere, and I love drinking water. Like, I really just love plain water. I don't need any flavorings to it. I just want plain water, and I love it. But the other way wasn't really the right way to do it. So then fast forward to when my husband and I got together, I had, I lost a good amount of weight, those last 2 years of high school, but I was still chunky. And so when my husband and I got together, I was actually in massage school and learning about the human body and learning about health and wellness and learning about nutrition and everything. And at that point, I decided we're going to have a lifestyle change. We're not going on a diet. I know that diets don't work. I'm going to do a lifestyle change. And so I basically just did clean eating, and I ended up losing 40 pounds in 3 months and kept most of it off. And I was actually in a very healthy weight and a very healthy size, and I was happy with my size. The problem with that is I restricted too much. I didn't let myself have treats. I didn't let myself have chips, no fried foods. Took too much stuff out of my diet. Now, I didn't get rid of carbs. I still had bread. I just had whole wheat pasta and whole wheat bread rather than having the white bread. So again, I picked up some good habits by switching my carbs to healthier carbs, by focusing on lean proteins, but also focusing on having a well-balanced meal, so having fats, carbs, and protein. But I still looked at treats as bad. I'm like, no ice cream, no cookies, none of that. The dog has to go out. That was like my major shift, my first real weight loss journey. And for 7 years, I kept it off. I had moments where I definitely had whole sleeves of cookies. I had whole pints of ice cream. I had eaten many times throughout that period, but I never, became overweight again until I got pregnant. And to be honest, the first 6 months of my pregnancy, I was like awesome. Like, I had my turkey sandwiches and my carrots for lunch. I did not overdo it on sweets, but something happened the last 3 months. And, it was stress over, I actually had lost my job, pregnant, looking for a new job. We were buying a new house, pregnant, looking for a new house. I was also working on my entrepreneurship certificate. I already finished college, and I was working on starting my business while pregnant. Yeah, like, I was a pregnant lady going in, like, asking for loans and asking for help on business, and I know they thought I was freaking crazy. But there was a lot of stress that ended up happening. And so with that, I think I just kind of ate my feelings. And I remember days like sitting on the couch and ate 8 cookies and seriously had acid reflux. And I'm like, I could feel it. And I'm like, why are you doing that to yourself? I just had to sit up. I couldn't even lay down because I was so uncomfortable. It was terrible. So I ended up gaining about 65 pounds during my pregnancy. And since I was a healthy weight, the average weight I should have gained was 25 to 35. So I was clearly way over, by 30 pounds of the weight that I gained that was not healthy weight gain for pregnancy. So, so I had Taylor about 6 months later, or within about 6 months, I did end up losing about 30 pounds. So in essence, I lost the baby weight within 6 months. But I was so frustrated And mind you, I still have, a newborn child. I did start my business. So I opened a business when Taylor was 6 weeks old. We bought a new house. And so it was just like 3 major life things happening. They're very stressful. Even if it's positive, it still requires a lot of energy, so much stress that combined with the frustration of I'm still overweight, I ended up gaining 25 pounds back. So at that point, it's not even baby weight that I've lost in this 60 pounds. Like, this 60 pound weight loss is me making mistakes, gaining weight back after I'd lost weight. And the breaking point was when I got on the scale one day and I was 207 pounds. I delivered Taylor at 212. I could not believe that I let myself go like that. I was really embarrassed and shamed that it happened. But what can you do, I decided at that point, fine, I'm going to do something. Throughout that process, I did learn that I was low thyroid. And after about 6 months of trying not to be on medication, I decided to go with the medication. And it did help with my symptoms, but it did not, help me lose weight. So I thought like, oh, maybe that's why I lost, or I'm big, is because I have low thyroid. Well, I fixed the low thyroid, by using the medication, but I'm still overweight because I still ate too much or consumed too much, even if it was healthy food. At that point, I decided, okay, I've got to lose this weight, got to do something, right? So I tried all the diets. I did low carb. Chris and I together have done low carb, dairy free, gluten free, gave up alcohol for periods of time, no fried foods, like all these different things. I had counted calories throughout time, but I tried to stick to too low of a calorie count, so it wasn't sustainable either. So anyway, when I look back over the 7 years of me trying to lose weight and trying all these different methods of losing weight, the only time that I actually lost weight and kept the weight off, because let me tell you, I did low carb and I lost 30 pounds, but I gained that weight back. And that wasn't within that 6 months after having Taylor. This is like another time. I've probably lost like 200 pounds, like, to be honest, about all the freaking ups and downs I've done. But anyway, so I decided one day that I was just going to get some support. I wasn't going to rely on my husband to be the person to do this with me, to help me lose the weight, and I was going to get some accountability. So I did hire a coach. The interesting thing about hiring my coach is, knowing and doing are 2 different things. So I knew what to do. I knew that I really just had to burn more calories than I consumed. And I've always been happier when I can just count my calories and eat foods, like the same kind of foods that my family is eating, eat foods that I really like. Honestly, I like to eat healthy, but 8 ounces of salmon is too much salmon for someone who's trying to lose weight. Or having, cocktails on the weekends. That was another thing. I would lose a couple pounds during the week. Then on the weekend, I would totally mess it up because I'd have too much alcohol or too many treats or whatever it is. So basically, I lost the first 30 pounds within 7 years of basically up and down, up and down, up and down, plateauing here and there. And then when I finally decided to just stick with the plan, stay consistent, I lost 30 pounds over 7 months. And So I was on a deficit for 6 months. I honestly went on a deficit probably longer than I should have. You really shouldn't be in a deficit for longer than like 12 to 16 weeks. You should take a little bit of time off to reset your hormones and your metabolism. But I just extended it because I was so pumped that I'm losing weight and keeping off that I wanted to keep going. But I really wasn't losing that much on the last couple months. So then I took a month off and then went back on for another month and lost like 5 pounds on that last month, that 7th month. And basically been maintaining it for the last 6 months or so. I maintained my weight last summer, so excited about that. First summer in years that I actually didn't gain weight with all the festivals and all the fun things and all the, drinks by the pool and all the fun foods. But I decided in July, so I took off in June, and I basically did reverse diet, but more intuitive eating style. I just ate, same types of foods, but I let myself just have a little bit more. Didn't track very much. But I didn't go hog wild because I haven't been on a diet. So since I wasn't on a diet, didn't take things out of my nutrition plan, I didn't have to feel like I was going crazy, eat all the cookies and everything. I just had a few if I wanted. So anyway, so I took June off, then decided, with COVID and everything going on, there's no festivals, nothing anymore. Let me just see if I can lose a little bit more weight. And so I took July, and I did go on a deficit, but I wasn't as strict with my deficit as I am when I'm in weight loss mode. So I only lost 2 pounds that month. which is still down 2 pounds, it's fine. And then we had vacation in August, and I just took, all of August off, basically. I was like just going to do every other month at that point. And then I am honestly really happy with how I look and where my body is and how I feel, but I still have some belly fat that I'd like to get rid of. And so I have maybe 10 or 15 pounds to lose, not really sure. So I've decided that I'm going to go on a 12-week plan starting this past week. So I'm going to be sharing every week my weight loss for the week and what I eat in a day to give you an example of things that you can eat and how you can lose weight. Join me if you want. I'd love to, go on this journey with you. But what I want to do is go over my 5 tips to help you lose the weight consistently without having it taking you, 8 years or so, because that's how long it took me to really lose it all. And it does not have to take you that long if you do it the right way. My first tip to help you lose weight consistently in not a quick way, because as I discussed in another video, you don't want quick weight loss. You just want consistent weight loss over a shorter period of time than 8 years. So the first tip is to believe in yourself. You have to believe that it's possible, because if you think I've had a C-section like I did, I'm never going to lose the weight like I thought, it's not going to happen. So the first step is just to believe. Just because you've had a baby, just because you've had a C-section, just because it's been 7 years does not mean that you can't lose the weight. You have to believe that you can, starting today. It does not matter how long it's been, what you've tried in the past, what's worked, what hasn't worked. You can do this. Number 1, believe it is possible, because it is. Second thing that you need to know, to focus on yourself. Don't worry about what your husband's doing. Don't worry about what your friends are doing. Don't worry about what anyone else out there is doing. Just because it's worked for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And just because you're on a health journey doesn't mean everyone in your family has to be. Over time, they may follow suit. And stay tuned for another video on how to get your spouse to lose weight. I'm going to be sharing that soon. But the point is, if you stay in your lane, stay focused on yourself, by focusing on yourself and staying committed to what you've set in front of you, you will be able to take the steps necessary. You get off track when you start comparing yourself to either your past self, someone else, people in your family. And I know it's hard. Trust me. I've been there. But you can do it. So focus on yourself. The third thing is to stay consistent. Even if there's a week that goes by and you've done everything perfectly right, but you don't lose, and you may even gain a pound, do not give up. That could be from hormones, could be from an extraneous workout, could have been from stress, could have been any way that the scale only goes up or doesn't move due to water retention. So do not give up just because you do not have that same weight loss as you did the previous week. You will expect to lose more at the beginning, and at some point in the month, expect to not have a loss, but keep doing it. You have to go through it to see. So at week 3, no change, or maybe even a little gain. Week 4, you're back down 2 pounds. Now, if you decide it's not working and you revert to old habits, then week 4 is not going to be very good. So you have to just stay consistent to see. And one of the things that can really help you to stay consistent, which is the 4th thing I want to share with you, is to track. Now, I do personally count calories. I think that is just the most accurate way to track what you're having. But if you don't want to track calories, there are other ways to do it to know how much you're eating. I don't recommend going on strict diets just to lower your calories that way, because you're going to want to have some chips sometime. You're going to have a cookie. So if you just know maybe about how many calories are in your snacks, or try to aim for like 200 calorie snacks and maybe 400 calorie meals, and have some of those that you can rotate. But personally, I just think tracking through calorie counting is easy, and I love using the app Lose It. Now, the 5th thing is to be patient. I know it's hard. We're all in a hurry. We want it right now. But let me tell you, it didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to come off overnight. And like I mentioned before, if you take your time with it, you're going to appreciate it more. You're going to have the time to actually build the habits that are necessary to maintain it. You want to have sustainable weight loss. Why lose 30 pounds in a month just to gain it back a month later? Does it really matter that you gain it that quickly? No, it doesn't matter how quickly you do something. It's that you keep it off. That's the whole point. And the last thing, number 6, I want you to get support. Now, whether this is from a friend, maybe there is a group that you can sign up with, or you can even hire a coach. You get somebody to be on your side to help you, to support you, to guide you, to hold your hand, to be your accountability partner, to hold you accountable, for the choices and the decisions that you make, but also someone who can be there to help you navigate, to help you change the plan as needed, and support yourself. Give yourself grace, because not every day is going to be perfect. But one day of going off track is not going to ruin your progress. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some helpful information from this. And please share with me how your journey is going. How long has it been? What progress are you making? Where are you struggling? Let's chat in the comments. I really hope you have an awesome day. Please go do something good for yourself. You deserve it. And I'll see you the next one. Bye.